The factories, the ammunition factories were called Hasag. Hasag 1, Hasag 2. There were 2 factories there. The Germans employed all prisoners there. And we worked there for about a year.
And you were actually working at a train station then?
And training, but I was there for a year. Every night you had to go back home. In the mornings when it took you to the train station, we clean up the trains, everything, people coming out, they line them up, everybody had a number coming out. They were very meticulous, the German. Everything had to work like a clock.
Do you remember if there were mostly Jews in?
Only Jews.
Only Jews?
Yeah. And there were guards, Polish guards there too. They mobilized Poles to guard us. They were the Polish police were there. In Poland, the Germans set up Central Poland and Eastern Poland a protectorate. And all they had police there, the Poles ruling there, not the Germans, the Poles. And so the police were guarding us also, plus the Germans. They didn't trust the Poles 100%.
Did you meet anybody there that...
Yes, I made 2 friends from Krakow. We stayed together all the time. So in the middle of the night, they came again and woke us up and took us away on a train station, all on the train. And we didn't know where we were going.
And this would have been about 1943?
44.
44, okay.
And beginning of 44.
Okay.
Like in January or something like that. And we were on the train for 3 days and 3 nights. And the train came, we went to Germany, to central Germany. And we arrived in a hilly area, mountains all over. The train was going around and around and around, and finally stopped. When it stopped, made everybody get out. In the camp, there's a square, like a marketplace, and lined everybody up in the square. All 1,000 of us, and 200, each 100. And the Gestapo came in, with dogs and whips, and they picked everybody for different areas to go. I didn't know what I was doing. So they asked me what you can do. I said, I'm a tailor, I can learn sew. They didn't send you to a tailor shop. So then I signed us to a factory. We were there for 3 days, and we didn't know it was a factory there. Everything was camouflage. It was artificial trees. It was only 2 blocks away. And we didn't know it was a factory there. There were 35,000 prisoners working in that factory. So when I was assigned to a machine, I never saw the machine before, but the engineer, a German engineer, who was very nice, he trained me for a whole day what to do with the machine, how to operate the machine. So I was making a part to the rocket with V2 and V1. I was making the part to the V2. It was called a Dieselkörper, and you have to do 10 operations to finish that part. And you put it down on a table, like stuck him up on the table. You said, you're under your shift. You have to make 20 of these, and not defective. Because if you find 4 of them, which are damaged or defective, that's considered sabotage. And for that, they hang people. And they were hanging people there every day in that camp. So I was afraid to have some, they're going to hang me. So instead of 20, I made 25. So I figured, well, if 4 of them be bad, I still have 20 good ones. So the engineer was very happy with me. All 25 were okay. So he was so nice. He knew that we didn't have enough food to eat, very little. So they feed you in the camp there, 6 o'clock in the morning. So walk you up. What do they give you? A piece of black bread, like that, and a piece of chewed tobacco, and a turnip soup, a bowl of turnip soup. You couldn't survive on that. So I went to work. A lot of people died from starvation there. So I told the engineer, we don't have an Essen. It means eating, German. He said, don't worry, I'll take care of that. And every day in the morning, he would bring a sandwich and hide it in my machine, in my drawer of my machine. And I was picking it out and put it on my shirt, because none of my friends, the co-workers would know that he brings to me food. They'd knock you over the head and take it away from you. So I kept it in my shirt. And when I went home, on my home, to the block, to the barracks, I went to sleep under the blanket I was eating, because I didn't want the next day to know either. So that way I could survive there. And I was there from January to April, working there. And then at that time already, the war moved into Germany. The Allies were moving from the west, and Russia was moving from the east. So the Germans then realized they lost the war. So they started to dismantle the factory, putting dynamite all over. We saw heavy boxes of dynamite they're putting in the Gestapo. I said to my engineer, I think this is going to be the end of us. He said, 999, there's waiting a train outside for you. You're not going to be on that group. It will blow up. At that time I was skeptical to believe him. I mean, you don't trust anybody, even though he was a nice man. It was nice because of him I survived.